Should be live. Yes, we're live. Alright, so it is, wow, I wrote 5-1, I'm a day ahead of myself. It is 4:30, April 30th, 2019. And about ready to start the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. For anyone who's watching, no one's watching yet. That's okay. Hopefully we'll have some good participation tonight. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I guess we'll go ahead and get started. This is KD2 and control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. The Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net is a net dedicated to farmers and gardeners for discussion of anything farming and gardening related. If there are any check-ins you would like to call, please call now. The net recognizes KD2 RFI. How are you tonight, Bob?
And not too bad, TJ, not too bad. I just figured I'd jump on quick, say hello, and I am going to jump off as quick as I jump on and run off to bed. It's been a long weekend and a long past couple days. I've been very busy. So I did have a little visitor here to the bee yard, which wasn't a good thing in the last week, but luckily we came out unscathed.
Yeah, I hear you. It's been a long couple of weeks for me too. I'm pretty beat. Yeah, could use a couple good nights rest. And visitor, uh-oh, that's not good. I'm glad you came out unscathed. What did he do?
Well, it was more of what I didn't do that allowed him entry. Evidently one night I mowed the bee yard and failed to turn the electric fence back on. Just so happens that night the bears decided to wander through. And they wandered through the night before. I know that my neighbor at the top of my driveway there, his garbage was spread out a little bit, but kind of in a real neat, polite, orderly fashion for, bear terms, I guess. It wasn't spread out too far. So I really never thought nothing of it, figured they already made the pass through, and, well, evidently it appears I had a young bear come in and toppled over one of my hives. And then didn't like the noise, didn't like the bees, and ran off. Lucky for me, all the hives, or all the boxes actually, on the one hive he toppled over, all the boxes actually stayed together. The bees did a good job sticking them together with propolis, so they never split apart. Knocked it off the bottom board and knocked off the inner cover and the top cover. That was it. Everything else stayed pretty much intact and relatively undisturbed, they're being on a vertical position where they should be. And other than that, I was really lucky.
This is KD2 and Net Control for Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. Well, I'm glad your hives held together. I'm glad your bees did a good job on the propolis. And yeah, I'd much rather a polite bear than a rude bear, but none would be better. Let's just see if there's anybody else checking in here quick. This is KD2 and Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If any further check-ins, please call now. Sorry about the stream issue there, guys. I think we got it straight now. No further check-ins recognized. All right. Well, it sounds like you made out good, and I know how easy it is to forget and leave the fence off. Can't tell you how many times I've come out in the morning and gone, oh, I left the fence off again. I hope nothing got damaged.
Yeah, it's just one of those little oversights. So, luckily, I'm good. It's about the second time it's happened, and both times have been, when it's happened, I've been unscathed by the visitors, luckily. So I don't want to keep pushing that luck button, though. I haven't gotten to watch your one video yet about the thermal mass in the greenhouse, but it definitely, I was thinking about that with the weather, and it was definitely a very good thing to have. That's an absolutely great idea. It looks like it saved you a night or two of frost there.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They were forecasting 33, and so I wasn't super concerned, but I really didn't want those to get frosted after they just went out. And so it ended up going down to 28 as an overnight low, and it was below freezing between 1:30 and 7 a.m. So it was actually quite a cold snap and stretch. And I actually did hear helicopters in the distance, and for a little while that had me kind of stumped. And then I realized that they were flying around over the orchards, keeping the warm air down over the orchards. But yeah, came through okay. No frost damage, so that worked out good. And it was nice not to have to drag all the plants back in and just pump some water out to them.
Yeah, outstanding. And that's just another little tidbit that I'm going to keep back in my mind for once I get my garden up and running for next year. Either something like a thermal mass, or if I do a greenhouse eventually, maybe even a little wood stove in there with coupled with a thermal mass as well, and
Yep.
really extend your growing seasons as well on top of protecting the plants from the
Hey, Geeky.
unexpected cold snaps here and there.
Sounds good, Geeky. Yeah, the thermal mass thing is really effective. That's probably the only thing that saves my plants in the greenhouse over the winter. Without that, I wouldn't be able to stay up till 6 or 7 in the morning, keeping that stove going every night. I've been refining the system and expanding it and tweaking the efficiency over time. Something I always wanted to do, and maybe I still will at some point in the future, but at the moment I don't have the time or the budget to do it, is put a whole garden bed in, basically a growing bed that has either submerged pipes that you could run warm water through, or even just air tubes you could run warm air through to preheat the soil in the spring to give you a little bit of an earlier spring soil warming and boost. I don't know, it's something that's occurred to me, but I haven't had the opportunity to experiment with yet. But yeah, the thermal mass makes a huge difference. That's a real lifesaver in so many ways.
Nice, very good, very good. All right, well, I'm gonna wind up turning in on you real quick tonight. Like I said, I just want to come out and say hello and touch base real quick. I do got to call early night. I got to start catching up on sleep here somewhere. I've been 2 days of pretty much from 5 in the morning till about 11 at night, and all my weekends were darn close to the same type hours, just running nonstop with stuff we had planned. So anyway, I'm going to catch up on your videos as soon as I get a chance this week, and start looking forward to everything up and coming. All right, I appreciate it, CJ, and once again, you have a good night. 7-3, KD2 RFI, clear.
All right, very good, Bob. Good to hear from you. Glad your hives made it through okay, and yeah, catch up on some rest. And I'm going to try and do the same here in the next few days, I hope. And yeah, have a good evening. I appreciate you checking in with the net despite being tired. Much appreciated. Hope you have a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon. KD2 RFI, KD2 IN, I'll say 7-3s. This is KD2 IN, control for the Hudson Valley farmers and gardeners. If there are any further check-ins, please call now. Stall.
Here's K2BHM.
Ah, there's Jim. The net recognizes K2BHM. How are you tonight, Jim?
Good. It's been kind of busy. Haven't really officially made several of the nets. Either things have been busy, or the nets have been so busy that I didn't have anything to contribute, and I just sat back and listened. But it's all good.
No worries. And yeah, I hear you. The spring summer load is coming on here, and it's getting harder and harder to keep up with things. So I totally understand. How have you been?
Good. Like I say, it's been busy.
Hey, Green Thumb Gardening Channel.
Retirement is not what I expected it to be. It's a lot busier, but
Thank you very much,
luckily
Green
I
Thumb
can
Gardening
pick and
Channel.
choose
Appreciate it.
who
you came
I do things for. So it's rewarding.
Very good, very good. Glad to hear it. You planning on doing any tomatoes or anything in the garden this year?
We're about to go on a vacation for a while, and then we come back, and we'll probably do a couple of road trips, and then later on we go on vacation. We've got timeshares that we have to use up because we've got the time saved up. So this year is probably going to be low-key.
Gotcha. Well, no worries. Just make sure you have a spare suitcase for me to hide in.
Hey, all you got to do is show up at Princess Juliana Airport and St. Martin, and the rest is covered.
Oh man, don't be tempting me like that. I'll never get anything done if I go away on vacation.
Well, our condo down there is one bedroom, and there's a sofa bed in the living room. So it pulls out and sleeps two, and so there's always room for an emergency, unexpected guest accompaniment, or whatever you want to call it. Emergency getaway, that's it.
Very good. Well, greatly appreciated. Yeah, an island getaway would be nice, but yeah, it's not going to be in time for that this time of year, or any time this year probably. But anyway, I hope your vacations go well, and no hurricanes this year, and good times are had.
Yeah, we're actually using up a couple of weeks that we couldn't use because of the hurricane situation.
Right.
And we picked now because a lot of our friends that we see in September are in the same situation, and they picked these 2 weeks to go. And so we're just piggybacking on and making them one big happy family.
KD2I, there you go, synchronized happy family. This is KD2IIN that controls the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If there are any further check-ins, please call now. No further check-ins recognized at this time. Back to you, Jim.
Yeah, K2BHM with KD2IIN net control. Unfortunately, I'm now the official photographer. My friend, who we've been seeing for over 10 years now, he was the official photographer, and he checked out, and he's now official photographer in heaven as of been a year ago, thanks to a heart attack. And I'm basically trying to fill some pretty big shoes.
Gotcha. Well, I hear the pictures are better in heaven.
Yeah, he was Mr. St. Martin. He was, yeah, right, big shoes. He was photographer for the Prime Minister of the island.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. High-ranking photographer, basically.
Yes, I'm not filling those shoes. I'm just filling the sneaker part of it. Just the part for our resort.
Fair enough. Well, I'm sure you get some excellent photos down there. I'm sure there's some awesome sunrises and sunsets and beaches and all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a situation where It's hard to take a good picture, or not to take a good picture down there. There's just so much good subject matter around, and people have gotten used to me backing up, rolling, and stuff like that. And the two of us double tagging it. And so they see the camera come out and they ham it up. They give you some good poses. They hand you their cell phone or camera, whatever. Take my picture. And then afterwards, they give you a flash drive and. Can I have copies of the pictures? And it's all good. Everybody's just down there having a good time. And he taught me what it was to take good pictures of people having the time of their life on an absolute paradise vacation place. So, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
That sounds like a good opportunity to be right in the middle of the fun.
Oh yeah, it's just a very relaxing environment. We're going now into the low time because nothing's planned, nothing's going on, whatever. It's just friends hanging out and doing whatever they feel like. And then when we go back in September, it's owner appreciation, so there's extra dinners, parties, contests, all kinds of stuff going on. That's high energy. So September is kick-ass, and this is laid back. So we get the best of both.
Very nice, very nice. Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, leaving a little space in case somebody wants to break in. K2BHM with KT2IIN. Yeah, we've been going there for like 12 years, and we thought originally we would go there a couple times and then trade off and go other places. But you start to get to know the people there, both the guests that come from all around the world, and then you get to know the locals there, and we know everybody from the housekeeper up to the general manager, and a lot of the shopkeepers and restaurants and stuff. It's like a second home.
Well, that's a real nice climate to have a second home in. Do they do any agriculture down there?
Can you say guava berry rum?
Okay. Can you elaborate? Guava berry
They're
rum.
really noted for their guava berries, which makes very good rum. And that's one of their major local products. Initially, years ago, it was basically a salt mining community, but they've gotten beyond that. There's salt ponds and stuff like that, but that's not the main thing now is tourism. But the thing that they're noted for is guava berry rum.
Okay, gotcha. Miraceria floribunda, I guess is the official name for that. It's a fruit tree which grows in the Caribbean. Guava berry, which should not be confused with guava, is a close relative of the camu camu. Interesting. So, any chance when you're down there you could get us some pictures of some groves of those?
I don't know. I never thought about that. I'll have to check and see. We'll be roaming around down there, and I'll have to check with the locals and see if there's any guava berry groves or whatever, how they go about it. Good point.
And the real kicker would be if you could get a seed or a live tree back, but I don't know what the customs laws are around that. But that would be a cool one to have in the greenhouse.
Yeah, I don't know. Not sure. I never really investigated it or whatever. It's obviously a tropical island. I don't know how it would survive up here. Have you dealt with
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
cultivating tropical island plants before? Do they survive up here?
I have quite a few tropical plants in the greenhouse. Avocados, citrus trees, what else? Turmeric, ginger, yeah, quite a few different ones. So with the greenhouse you could. I wouldn't even consider it without a greenhouse. But yeah, it'd be an interesting one to try.
Yeah, okay.
Working on it, Geeky Gardens.
I don't know what I'll run into, but I'll definitely nose around and see what I can find out.
Well, you know, I'll give you a little something to do between breakfast and rum.
Sometimes there's no space between breakfast and rum.
How did I know?
You're on island time, Mon.
Yeah, I could relate. I don't know. Well, yeah, you know, see if you can get some seeds or something, or find out more about them. I'd be curious. Be an interesting one to play around with. I really enjoy taking tropical plants like that and doing them in the greenhouse here and seeing if I can get them to produce fruit, flowers, and that kind of stuff. So that'd be another cool challenge to add.
So when you get them, do you need a recipe to turn them into rum?
Boy, I don't know if I'd even be able to grow enough to make a worthwhile batch of rum. You'd need quite a bit of them to get enough sugar to create enough alcohol to distill down to a reasonable amount of rum. But might be interesting. Might be interesting to try making like a pie or some other kind of dish with them. But and I guess it depends on how many we can grow and how big the next greenhouse rendition is. This is KD2IIN Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If there are any further check-ins, please call now. No further check-ins recognized at this time. Back to you.
Yeah, okay, KD2IIN, K2BHM. To be honest with you, the only thing guava berry I've ever heard of is guava berry rum. I don't know what else they make with it. Do you have any idea other uses for guava berry? No? We never looked it up, but the only thing we know of guava berry is guava berry rum. So I don't know if there's any guava berry pies or whatever.
Well, they do jams and drinks from it. I'll give you the excerpt from the Wikipedia. Guava berry is used to make jams and drinks. Guava berry liqueur, which is made from rum, is a common Christmas drink on many of the islands, particularly in St. Martin and the Virgin Islands. The colonists from Denmark and Holland found it could flavor rum by infusion similar to infused schnapps. In the Dominican Republic, it is associated with the eastern town of San Pedro de Marco, which has a large population of Eastern Caribbean descent. Guava berry is also used for medicinal purposes. I'll have to look into that too then.
Yeah, the medicinal purposes, that's as they turn it into rum. Well, on the island, the only thing you see guava berry is rum. But I'll have to keep my eyes open because we might not have been looking we might not have been looking past the rum.
Yeah, definitely take a look around and see if you can find a jam of it. Just looking at the fruit, it looks like it would be a really interesting, diverse flavor set. And I'll bet a jam made from it would be just absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it gave its different avenue to investigate. I really never gave it much thought other than you see the guava berry rum all over the place and so forth, and it goes along with the coladas and all that other stuff. But I'll have to look and see where else it is, see if it's in the grocery stores, see if there's any farms here that you can visit, whatever. That would be interesting.
definitely check it out when you're down there again. I'd be interested to hear more about it and see if you could find a plantation of it or any other products that they do from it. Now that you're kind of looking for it more, maybe you'll come across more instances of it besides the rum. Of course, it might be hard to find it amongst all the rum.
You do have a point. The rum is all over the place. Everybody's pushing the rum, so it might be hard to find something non-rum based. We may have to do some digging.
Well, given your amount of time down there and familiarity, I'm hoping you can come up with something that would be really cool thing to add to things here. And I have somebody in the live stream asking also about seeds for it. So he's actually in Florida. What did I do?
So what do we do? Toss them out the plane on the way back?
Yeah.
Over Florida?
If you can get it to me, I can get it to him. But you could toss me out of the plane on the way back over Florida. I'm not going to want to come back north after being there.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is kind of hard to come back after being down there with temperatures between 85 and 89 and so forth. And yeah, it's hard to come back.
I'm sure. Well, at least it's starting to warm up here now. But last week was nice. This cooler week. This week was kind of a letdown. But I suppose April has got to finish out.
Yeah, KD2II and KGBHM. Yeah, you got to take the good with bad with the weather and so forth. And it's transitional period. Usually, there's kind of like a great big switch up there they throw, and it goes from cold and nasty to hot and miserable. Very little in between.
Well, that certainly seems to have been the trend the last few years, but this spring has actually been more like a normal spring, I think, and kind of throws you off after having that fast hot snap like we have the last 3 or 4 years. But yeah, I guess we just have to play it as it lies.
Yeah, well, one thing is normal. The Deerfield Ham Fest in Deerfield, Connecticut is this Friday and Saturday. And I kind of forgave it to go off to St. Martin because a lot of our friends are going there. And the spring one is normally kind of a washout. And from the looks of it, this Friday's going to be a washout.
Be again. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Well, that's the game you play this time of year. I did a parking gig on a party last Saturday, and it was cold and windy and sprinkling and sleeting on and off, and it was not fun to be out there. So that's just how it goes, I guess, for this time of year.
Yeah, the spring ones are usually questionable. You wind up going there and it rains and so forth, and you kind of slop around in umbrellas and raincoats and stuff like that, and people have their
Kind of miserable.
stuff under plastic and don't really want to come out and bother with you.
Yeah.
And then typically the next day, Saturday, is a nice day. But you go there and they open up at 9 o'clock, and by noon everybody's packing up and leaving. So I'm looking at 12 hours of driving to get there and back, and you're going there from 9 to 12 and it's done.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know, I went to a ham fest, a couple ham fests when I was younger, when I was a teenager, and they were fun then, but I haven't been in recent years, and I never had the time, and I don't know, I'm less and less inclined to go to a big parking lot or building full of people and browse around and buy stuff I shouldn't be buying with money I shouldn't be spending. But they can be fun, and it is nice to run into people you know. But yeah, that's a long drive. These guys that drive out to Dayton every year, man, I'm just like, wow, that is a long drive to go to a ham fest.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've been going to Deerfield with a lot of the same friends for about 40 years now, and it kind of went through several transitions and relocations, and fell apart, and then got picked back up again, and so forth. But the problem is that nowadays the hobby is kind of dying. I mean, there's no kids there anymore at the Ham Fest. Half of the people there are in walkers, wheelchairs, and scooters.
Yeah, I know. We need to get some young blood back into the hobby. Although there is some coming in, there doesn't seem to be as much interest as there used to be. But I'm hoping clubs like ours that are trying to encourage younger people to come in will continue to bring new people in. It's really an excellent hobby and has so many other things that it ties into, from emergency communications and all that kind of stuff. It's really a shame to see it kind of fading. KD2IIN.
Yeah, let's leave a pause in case anybody wants to break in. KD2IIN net control with K2BHM. Did you hear anything?
Nope, it's a quiet night tonight, I think.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's, the Hamfests are getting kind of depressing because you go there and there's nowhere near what there used to be years ago, and it's basically the same stuff that hasn't sold in the last 20 years is being brought back. The good stuff is gone, and there's really nothing left there.
Yep, and you have a narrower selection of people that know how to use the old stuff, like the tubes and the capacitors and some of that older technology. If you don't have experience in it from years back, chances are you won't even know how to use it or implement it from here forward unless you've acquired those skills through special means.
Yeah, and how many people want to use a hollow state vacuum tube device for 80 meters from 40 years ago that has basically no stability to it?
Well, that's the thing with the solid state technology now. You just can't beat the precision, reliability, and efficiency of the solid state stuff. I mean, the tubes do have a cool thing to them, but they're just they're not as precise as the new stuff is, And then of course now we got the DMR coming out, and I've noticed the repeater isn't as active as it used to be since so many people have moved to DMR. So I don't know. Looks like things are shifting and fading, and I don't know how it's going to shake out.
Yeah, DMR. I do a modified version of DMR. I have something called Magic Jack. You pick up the telephone and dial a phone number, and it connects to the internet and goes out over and comes back out the internet someplace else and winds up in somebody's telephone. Same thing, but you don't need a license.
I hear you. Yeah, to me that's not really that much radio to it, really. Hang on, I gotta take a phone call. KD2I.
Okay. KD2IIN with K2BHM.
What's going on?
Let's pause and see if there's any additional check-ins to the Hudson Valley Gardeners Net.
Ah, okay. Okie doke, I'm back. KD2I. Sorry about that. Yeah, let's just do one quick opportunity for check-ins, and then we'll go ahead and close this up. This is KD2I and Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. If any further check-ins, please call now. No further check-ins recognized at this time, and I'll put it back to you for any final comments, Jim, and then we'll wrap it up and roll on.
Yeah, okay. Enjoyed the conversation. We didn't get much into farmers and gardening other than guava berries on St. Martin, but that could prove interesting. Anyhow, I'm going to be out of the picture for the next 3 weeks, and I'll catch you when I get back. Enjoy the QSO. Thanks for the net. K2BHM.
Sounds good, Jim. Good to hear you in there, and glad you checked in, and I hope you have a safe and fun trip, and bring back some guava berry seeds. All right, don't have too much rum and forget. All right, have a good evening. Thank you very much for participating. Appreciate it. This is KD2IIN Net Control for the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net. This has been a session of the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net, offered to the amateur radio community each Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. by the Overlook Mountain Amateur Radio Club, located in Ulster County, New York. For more information about our club, please visit our website at www.omarkclub.org. That's whiskey, Oscar Mike, Alpha, Romeo, Charlie, Lima, Uniform, Bravo, Oscar, Romeo, Golf. Thanks to all those participating. This is KD2IIN saying 7-3. Everybody will join us again next week. Don't forget, we also have another net on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. That net is usually run by Dave, K2JLV, and that is more of a general chat net. So don't forget to check that out. Our meetings, please visit our website for more information about our meetings there, the third Thursday of the month. Thanks to all those participating. This is KD2IIN saying 7-3, and this repeater is back under regular amateur use, and the net is officially closed. KD2IIN will be clear, 7-3s.
Yeah, easy for you to say. You've had lots of practice. Anyhow, just busting on you. Thanks. Enjoy the QSO, and I'll catch you when we get back. And I'll definitely check into seeing if there's any information available on guava berries there on St. Martin. So, talk to you later. Enjoy the QSO. Thanks. K2BHM, off and clear.
Alright, sounds good, Jim. 7-3 is KD2I and E is clear. Is he still hanging around there, Geeky and the Green Thumb Gardening Channel? Thanks for coming and checking out the net. Sorry it was not super farming and gardening oriented tonight. Not a lot of check-ins. And I'm kind of tired too, so not a lot of energy to drive a good conversation. We're back in this rainy, cold weather and it just doesn't make me super motivated. Anybody have any questions, comments, thoughts, ideas? Yeah, no, I want to try guava berries too. I'd like to try the rum as well, although that's dangerous, for me at least. One drink tastes good, but then you want another, and that's not so bad, but then you want another, and then it gets bad. Yeah, I never heard of guava berries before, so hopefully Jim will come back with some seeds for me. That'd be awesome. Love to try those in with the citrus trees and all the other tropical stuff. I want to build a really big greenhouse and have an orchard of citrus trees and tropical fruits. And they're plain guavas. You used to have one. Ah. So you could probably find a tree at a nursery or something around you, right? I mean, that'd be the way to go. Start with like a 5-year-old tree or something. And you got the climate for it. Guava berry or rum berry, yeah, yeah. So if you mix up the rum berries too much, is that how you get a rum baba? Ha. Yeah, amazing what motivates us, huh, Geeky? It sounds like it would be good. I know I like that, was it Malibu? Is that Jamaican rum, I think? That stuff's pretty good. Malibu and Coke, man. Oh, tasty. Goes down a little too smooth. I haven't had one of those in a long time. Putting out flowers, huh? Interesting. Well, I hope they root for you. I think I've got a volunteer pear tree out back. That was a pretty exciting find. Apparently I've run it over a couple times and didn't know it. But it survived and it's flowering. I think it's a pear. It might be an apple or a cherry, but I'm pretty sure it's a pear. And there's a pear tree probably 100 yards from it. big old one that actually produces nice pears, but the squirrels get them on me every year. So I got some more landscaping work to do down there. Yeah, fall cuttings are supposed to be better. Grafting you can do, like here in our climate, we graft in like February or March. Where you are, you'd probably graft even earlier, probably January or February. Well, if it's throwing flowers, it's probably taking root because it's got enough energy to throw flowers. That's interesting. And it's probably a good sign. But I also understand why you're clipping them, trying to send that energy back to roots. Oh, you could graft something to those. You could graft probably any of the citrus family to those. You could actually, you know, it'd be a cool one to do is some Meyer lemon and some blood orange and some key lime. Graft to those. That'd be pretty sweet. Then you'd have a tree of multiple citrus. Bitter as heck, but they make good marmalade. Sure, add enough sugar. All those flavors come out sweet. Yeah, I think you should try it. Look into grafting. It's not too hard to do. You can graft all kinds of plants together. There's all kinds of cool grafting stuff that's been done. There was even a grafting experiment done back in the 60s, late 60s I think it was, where they did cannabis and hops. They tried grafting a hops to a cannabis, and they tried grafting a cannabis to a hops. And let's see, how did it go? When they grafted a hops to a cannabis root, they got hops that were THC, that had THC in them. So that's an interesting one. A Ponderosa lemon. Oh, I'm not familiar with those. Your Meyer lemon died from overgrowth? Oh, from stuff growing around it. Oh, that sucks. Meyer lemon is awesome. Those are one of the best lemons. Oh, you read about that too? Yeah, it was a cool. I always wanted to try it, but of course, with laws are what they are, I can't. But I'm hoping someday. That's a plant I'd love to, both of those I'd like to experiment with. In fact, I want to get some hops, rhizomes this spring if I can, but I gotta get on it. It's getting late. One lemon per pie on the Ponderosa? Oh, I might have to look into those then. Wow, that's a huge lemon. My mom made some lemon meringue pie with the Meyer lemons from this Meyer lemon tree in the greenhouse. It is hands down the best lemon meringue pie I ever had in my life. The flavor profile was just incredible. Oh, it was so good. I could eat a whole pie like that every night. I hear you, Kiki. Well, I've just read so many different studies. I'd love to just go hog wild, messing around with, all different types of grafting and crossing and that kind of stuff. Very little juice, though. That would make it a really nice pie lemon too. Then you get a nice thick custard-like pie base, right? I never did the juice. I have eaten one raw, just straight eating it. That was pretty good. But the lemon meringue pie was just, oh my god. I want to get, my friend has a blood orange plant, and he's going to give me a cut of that eventually. And I want to try that lemon meringue pie recipe with a blood orange. I think that would be killer too. Blood orange pie. Well, sounds like you have to try about 25 more pies and find out. And then, you know, at the end of 25 pies, you can say, I can't decide, and go for another 25. That lemon meringue pie is something I could just eat every single night. Like, just so good. Definitely one of my favorite. That and Bavarian cream pie. You ever have that? It's like a raspberry cream pie. My grandmother used to make a killer Bavarian cream pie with a graham cracker crust. Oh, just, oh, so good. Oh, well, you're set to go, Geeky. Do a side-by-side, Meyer versus Ponderosa. See which one has the better flavor. You might not get an answer. You might find just one has. They might just have different flavors, which are both really good. I guess it would come down to your personal taste bud preferences. Yeah, I hear you. I actually have to go get some dinner and get some sleep. I'm tired. I don't know why I'm so tired today, but I just have no energy all day. Like I just wore myself out the last week or so. So I think I'm going to jump out here. Call it a night. Thanks as always for watching, participating. Appreciate it. Kiki, always enjoy chatting with you. And the Green Thumb Gardening Channel. Thanks for joining and checking us out as well. And thank you for the well wishes. Alright, sounds good, Geeky Gardens. Have a good night. Thanks again for participating. Always appreciate it. We'll talk to you guys soon. This has been another session of the Hudson Valley Farmers and Gardeners Net, brought to you by the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Thanks for watching.